This thing opens up and looks like you're about to put wings on your laptop, but really it's a tri-screen monitor setup. This is the LK14 by Limink, and I took on this review because I like the all aluminum chassis. I think if you're an Apple user, you're gonna love this thing. As you see here, it just slips over your MacBook, particularly if you have a MacBook Pro, so you can support two external displays. But it really matches, and the resolution at 1920 by 1200 is a nice little widescreen. What I'm most impressed about this thing that you'll see in a moment is the brightness. At 400 nits, this thing is bright. I also have it on a PC here in this frame. You can see my HP Omen. And then again with the Mac. Now this is a MacBook Air. MacBook Airs only support one external display, so you're going to want to put this on a MacBook Pro, but you're going to get a good idea of how it's going to align. And you can see if you go back a screen, it looks a lot better on the MacBook than it does on a PC. So 4mm ultra narrow bezels, 16:10 aspect ratio, and this is how you can hook it up. On the MacBook, you're going to go USB Type C to Type C really easily. If you have a PC, you might be using the small HDMI connection, but you're still going to need to run an USB Type C or USB Type A to your laptop in order to power the screens. But they got you covered. They're going to include that all in the box. You have two USB Type C cables, USB C to A. You actually have four USB Type C cables, and they have two of the big HDMI to the mini HDMI. This is how it looks when you take it out of the box. It has a little cover, and then in between the cover is the unit itself. So that's the cover, and if you notice that little divot there, that keeps the two screens from hitting into each other. And then on the other side is the actual back frame. Here are your inputs, your I/O. You have two USB Type-Cs on each monitor and the mini HDMI. You have two buttons on the bottom as well to control brightness and other configurations. This is what it looks like on a 15.6-inch HP Omen gaming laptop, and it doesn't look bad at all. What you didn't see me do is there is a little hinge on the back, and that keeps the whole thing upright. You might be wondering, like, that's a lot of weight to add on to your computer, and it is. So it has a little kickstand in the back of the unit that keeps it upright. So on the far right, I have an Excel spreadsheet open. The camera's really not doing it any justice. On the left, I have a YouTube video, and then I'm playing some games here. You notice I have the light on, and you'll notice that this new screen is very, very bright. It is an IPS panel, and it does go up to 400 nits. Now, I'm gaming on my main monitor. I am in HDR gaming. That's why it kind of looks funny while I'm taking it from an external camera. But as you can see here, it's grabbing good images. The YouTube video I'm playing right now is very washed out white. A lot of that, again, has to do with the camera. As far as the actual video quality, it was very good. So if you missed it, a couple notable things is this isn't just 1080p, it is 1920 by 1200, so it's a slightly widescreen, and then the aspect ratio is going to be 16:10, so it's going to be great for watching videos, great for video editing. You can also see on the far right here, I have a little Twitch chat open, what it might look like if you use it for Twitch. There's many different applications. Now in the PC, when you go to your display settings, you'll notice each monitor is shown on your computer as an individual device. So you have all kinds of things as far as changing resolutions, changing brightness, do you want to extend your display, or do you want to duplicate your display? It does it all. I also have it here in the NVIDIA control panel, which will give you even more customization. If you notice though, this is only a 60 hertz screen, so it's not going to be good for high refresh rate gaming or anything like that. Keep that in mind. It's not a super high end monitor in that regard. So up next, I'm going to do me putting on the monitor itself. So here's a MacBook Air. What I did that you didn't see me do is there are two little brackets up at the top that'll hold it on the top. It will fit up to a 16-inch screen. It just telescopes when you grab those little handles there that I showed you momentarily. You grab those, you slide it over. There's a little clamp to the top, and then it just fits on there. And then the last thing to do is set up the kickstand. But it'll go 13 to 16-inch laptops will fit on this. Thing. And as you see, once I get that kickstand up, it works. And then you want to just bow out your displays to how you wish them. You can pull the screen up or down. There's a little bit of customization there. So what are my thoughts on this thing? Well, the screen itself was brighter than I had imagined. It looks really good. So keep in mind, this is something else you'd have to bring around with you. I definitely see this as a desktop replacement for sure, because once it's set up, it's golden. You just plug in those two plugs each time, and it's easy to go. Traveling around with it, I'm not so sure, but what I am sure about is putting it on a MacBook of some kind. Just looks gorgeous with that all aluminum design. All of a sudden, you have a tri-screen monitor. Your productivity should shoot to the moon, and it looks great too. If that's what you're doing for work, video editing, stock trading, something that requires multiple screens open, it's great. You can even see here, just compared to the MacBook Pro, this is an M1 MacBook Pro, so it's got a really nice Retina display, and as you see, it's the one on the right is actually really nice, and the color accuracy is even better in my opinion on these screens that I'm reviewing here. So all in all, I think if you're a PC user and you want to try monitor setup, there's so many out there. Think about this one as far as high brightness, all aluminum chassis, thin bezels, and the resolution being slightly widescreen. Those are pretty much the defining specs right there. Otherwise, just check the specs, make sure it's what you're looking for. You might need a high refresh rate, you might need a higher resolution. Just make sure you're buying the appropriate thing for your application. But as far as a tri-monitor office setup, this thing is clean. It looks great. There's the back of it. Like I said, all aluminum. It's really nice. I mean, it's definitely got the design aspect going for it, and it delivers exactly what it says it does.